Welcome to the Buybox Bandits podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Buybox Bandits. Today we have cousin Jimmy FBA in the building, and we're going to talk about how he was able to drop out of college, move out of his hometown, get a warehouse, make $50,000 profit in 1 month, probably with the goal of making $100K profit next month, all within a year and a half, just after turning 20 years old. So, Jimmy, thanks for joining us, family.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
That was the most concise intro I think Miles has ever done. Out of like
Hey, we've been trying to get the boy on the pod for a while, right? We did that one a while ago, but I think that was even low key pre Q4 last year, like during Q4 of last year. But either
live stream, yeah, that wasn't really
that's when you know someone becomes a big body, is when they start bodying Miles and I for scheduling interviews. That's when you know.
Sweet. Yeah, dude. So obviously Garrett and I are super familiar with you. We're really good friends. We've hung out a bunch. For people who might not be familiar, right, we're going to really break down, okay, your story, how you got started, and then how people can do this the right way, because you really done it the right way very, very fast, pretty similar to Garrett and I finding success quick. But take us back to whether it be like what got you interested in business or how you got interested in the Amazon business.
So in terms of business, like when I was 13, I had a Minecraft YouTube channel. Like I still comment on your live.
Drop the link to
that channel. Yeah, youtube.com/smexe. People would pay me like $200-300 an hour to stream on their server. And so I would get paid like a really good amount. And I basically lost all that money when I turned 18 to options trading. Don't recommend buy Amazon products, not index funds. But yeah, got into Amazon, found a reel on TikTok, not a reel, a TikTok on TikTok of Warner talking about it, bought the roadmap last June or May, and kind of went from there, started Instagram, posted there, did some videos on there, posting the boxes, the orange bars, and kind of scaled from there. So
just digging into that kind of initial monologue there, right? There's so many people get stuck on that big jump, right? The jump to content, the jump to social media, the jump to buying a course, that sort of thing. What do you think was inside of you inherently that kind of made that transition so easy? Was it the young entrepreneur Jimmy that was doing the video game stuff, or like what do you think was influencing you at the time?
Honestly, my kind of mentality behind the roadmap was I'm going to get more value if I pay for something than the free YouTube video. Because I'd watched all the YouTube videos like top 10 millionaire habits, and it's the same thing every time. And so I thought, I want something different. Let me pay for this time. So I bought the roadmap, and that was kind of my moving point.
First of all, this is actually very important, though. You need to figure out when the 1 year anniversary of the you, Braun, and Billy I just dropped out of college, because it's got to be close to today.
Oh, it happened already.
Oh, it did happen already. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Gary, you're saying?
Right.
I was just going to ask, like, in terms of your parents, did they have any sort of background with entrepreneurship, owning businesses and stuff? Because again, I feel like there's such an influence of people who make it and people who don't. And there's got to be something inherent. It's got to be something like in the upbringing of kind of how you were wired as a kid.
I love this question. My mom is big into real estate. My parents are retired, late 30s, early 40s. Living off military pension and real estate ever since I was out the womb. My mom was reading me Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That's it though. That's the key, bro.
You need to read that. Everyone listening.
Yeah, it's a good first beginner read. Not so much expert level, but
yeah. Well, you're also a child of the internet too, and that you were deep in internet communities in the same way I was really, really young too. So
we knew each other.
We did. Jimmy and I crossed paths in like 2015, 2017 range. Actually, that happened with another dude that was a child of the Lego community as well. But I don't know. Just like in general, like thinking of trying to make money with Minecraft or me trying to flip Legos. Like there were certain things that were wired into you that you just really liked and stuff. And then, okay, so getting going with Amazon stuff, right? So you start the Instagram page, you start getting sales. What do you think kind of was the big jump? Because obviously it's a much different story getting a couple of sales versus in your first year putting up 50K profit for 1 month last December from scratch as a teenager.
Big thing was you, Miles, adding me to that group chat, FBA crew.
Oh, the back to school one.
Yeah, that's where I met Andrew and Billy. And that was a big turning point because every day on Zoom, we were finding leads, chopping it up, buying the belt bags at 3 a.m., getting order canceled on all of them,
good
doing it again the next night.
time.
Like it was a grind, but that, and then the next turning point was probably moving in with Andrew and Billy. Billy in Costa Rica, Andrew in Oregon. Really honing down together in person and going from there.
I think that's also part of the success equation is you guys were lucky enough to not necessarily have any responsibility at the time, right? Your naiveness ultimately was a huge key to your success, right? Obviously, you don't have any dependents, right? Obviously, you guys didn't necessarily have a lot of bills and stuff to pay for, so you could make that leap, as opposed to the 35-year-old that's starting that may have 2 kids, a job, a family, that sort of thing, right? So for the people that are listening to this, like to be 18, 19, maybe fresh out of high school, in college, there's such an opportunity to change your life before you get caught up in the rat race of corporate, because you have so much flexibility. And again, it's the power of the we talked about this with Romer. Is it naivety or whatever that word is?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Yeah, it's the same way like back in the day. Like, and you see it with the young guns coming up on Twitter too. Like the announcing to the world that you know nothing is one of the best ways to learn something. Like
starting off, like just being a noob, being awful at something is the best way to do it. You know,
like you have no other choice though, but owning it. Owning it.
Yes. Yeah.
So take us through your first, call it 3 months of sourcing, right? Because obviously, we know you're pretty familiar right now. You're a really, really good at sourcing now, but it wasn't always that way. So how has your kind of sourcing skill progressed over time?
First 3 months, I treated it like a full-time job. I thought if I want to go full-time, I got to treat it full-time. So 9 hours a day, just sourcing, getting good at it. Slowly building up the skill, seeing what websites work, what coupons work on which websites, honing down on certain brands like Nike, Adidas. Where can I buy those products on these sites? Really honing down on that. Things really scaled though when I started talking to people. That was a huge catalyst. Like just talking to, Miles, Billy, Andrew, FaceTime and Zoom was just huge. So
yeah, because you learn so much quicker, right? First of all, it reinforces you're on the right path when you have other young kings in the trenches with you, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because you're probably not going to find those people IRL. And actually, in this case, the people IRL probably don't really believe in it, right? Therefore, you have to go to the internet to find fellow young kings to build with, right? It's like, okay, how do you go about actually do that? You post shit, just like Romer said yesterday. You post stuff. You exist. There's so many accounts that try to do Amazon stuff where they're never on video. You never see their face. They follow 36 people and they wonder why it's not working, because you're not working, right? And that's what's key is that, now you probably spend far less time sourcing than you used to, and you make whatever 10, 20, 50x the money compared to your first month, whatever, probably even more than that, honestly. But it's because you got really good at the skill, and the skill is the biggest lever, right? Volume times skill times time, right? The more you do it, the better you get, right? And then it takes less time because your skill is a lot better too. So can you kind of just break down for the person that's looking to find online arbitrage products, like how do they actually go ahead and do that? Like what methods are best for beginners? How are we finding coupons, that kind of stuff? Because we can really, really dig in and give a ton of tactical game, because you're a fan favorite in the coaching program when you do sourcing calls to me, right? So you want to give a lot of game to the BBB Nation.
Favorite.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, start with the bread and butter, the basics, get your extensions, coupon extensions, Capital One Shopping, Top Cashback, Rakuten. I like to start out with Nike. I mean, it's easy to do. Just start out on a Nike stock listing or Kachava, look at old Colin Brim sellers. Just start on popular OA listings and go down rabbit holes there. Makes it very easy. Yeah, not much to that.
Yeah, well, a lot into it though, right? Because it's like, okay, this product's on this many websites, but then it's like, okay, how do I make that profitable? That's the big bottleneck, right? It's using gift cards, it's using the cashback extensions, it's using coupons, it's digging around, it's talking to other sellers, because other sellers know all the info you need to know to make the money you want to know, you want to make.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the key, is if you never meet them, you'll never figure it out.
One other thing too that I've noticed, Sales Gazer by Chris Grant, you can select the retailers you want, and you can look back at previous emails. It's not updated, I'm pretty sure. So you can look back and see, patterns in the site sales and see when a site has a sale, when can I capitalize on that sale, at what time, and go from there. So I think that's another big one too. Using Sales Gazer, seeing sales patterns, seasonal patterns, and and
You
whatnot.
mentioned starting on some popular listings and kind of spider webbing from there. In particular, what sorts of sellers are you identifying as potential good resources to learn from? Maybe review counts, maybe price points, that sort of thing.
Definitely depends on the price point. But I think the main thing would be reviews. Anything below 500, 300, kind of indicates an OA seller. For wholesale, it's a bit different. It kind of really doesn't matter to me, at least. Anything below like 10,000 is good to source. But reviews are a big thing. Their price point, if they're priced low and competitively, like very low, like below a buy cost I know is unobtainable, then I know they're probably taking a loss and I won't source that store because I want profitable stuff. I don't want people that tank listings. So I'll source people higher priced and in a good review range. So
And going along with that, kind of digging a little bit deeper, something that Miles and I have been talking about on streams is using sort of the opposite of that, right? Maybe you want to pinpoint Thanksgiving products or Halloween. Obviously now is Thanksgiving time to identify with smart sellers, right? In that case, you'd really be looking for the highest priced sellers, right? Because if you're using the last Thanksgiving time period as a reference point, you want to be associating with the people that are at the top of the market, right? Because those are likely the smarter sellers who know that the price is going to be where they expect it to be and that sort of thing. And you can learn a lot from those sorts of storefronts as you progress in time. And that's ultimately going to be sort of like an evergreen resource that when they find products, ultimately you're instantly alerted to those sorts of things. So it works both ways.
yeah, now is the perfect time to do that too.
Right.
Especially with December, like I've been finding a ton of toys, mainly toys, but stuff that people are just priced high on, waiting for the fills. Now is also the perfect time to find seasonal stuff. Like I've been
Right.
opening up a ton of seasonal wholesale accounts, advent calendars, Christmas ornaments, stuff like that. So that's been really good. But
Well, that's the thing. Nowadays, there's a lot of nuanced opportunity. And whether or not you want to take advantage of them yourself, you can learn so much, right?
yeah,
There's so much nuance in sourcing for Halloween, sourcing for Thanksgiving, obviously the Advent stuff that you're talking about. Just using those as a scope, as a lens, as a launching point to set your business up for success in years to come. It's so easy to find and kind of associate with those sort of smarter sellers that you really want to be learning from and focusing on.
Yeah, another way too is you can learn a lot looking at the Buybox statistics on Kiva for everyone listening too, right? You can hit data and then Buybox stats. Specifically, if you look at a listing that did really well last December, which is a pretty high portion of listings, honestly, you can hit data, Buybox stats, then filter it top to bottom price-wise, then filter it to 365 days. And then you can see who sold that product at the most expensive prices. And then you can open up those sellers and then pull the URL of each of those sellers, which is really easy. You just copy it and plug that in on sas.selleramp.com in the search bar. And then you can storefront stock those people really easily. And those are the really smart, big brain sellers that capitalized on that item last Q4 are probably going to be well positioned to capitalize on a ton of other items this Q4 that they're confident in. And with Black Friday next week, that's a fantastic way to source items because you're going to be paying presumably a lot less than pretty much anyone if you're sourcing stuff during Black Friday.
yeah. One little tangent off there with exporting sellers from Keepa. Just a little wholesale trick. If you have Smart Scout, you can export all the seller IDs from Keepa within like the previous year or whatnot. You can also do this with like, listings Broom, Kachava. It works on OA too, but it's best for wholesale. You can plug all those IDs into Smart Scout and then sort by top revenue, top reviews, all this stuff, and then look at the brands and products they're selling that are doing best for them. And then, if it's wholesale, go after those brands or find a distributor. If it's OA, find the product. But that's one of my favorite ways to source.
You had a really good point, a really good tweet maybe last month or so about the seller counts. You kind of want to break down like in general seller counts and what business model it correlates to.
1 to 2 sellers, I'd say private label, 2 to 25 wholesale. And,
I do remember that. Yeah.
Or OA or wholesale or RA. Yeah.
OA or wholesale. And then anything above 25 is most likely OA.
Because now here we go. There's a bull case, dude, to do keep a product finder 20 seller minimum category beauty to find all the OA beauty brands, right? Or keep a product finder 20 sellers minimum. Now, obviously, those might not be the best listings for those brands, but just to find those brands, period, is a really, really good way. Some more keep a product finder sauce, ladies and gents, right? This time of year, you can do demand filter. You can see stuff that's going up in demand by 50% or more. You can purely look at stuff that's going up in price, purely look at stuff that's stable in price, purely look at stuff that's going down in competition. Garrett has some good videos on this, and period. If you do enough of that, you will be able to find lots of good products. Those products will sell if you do the work, if you order them, if you get them FBM quick, and great things will happen.
Right now is the best time to source for next year. That's my tip. So
yeah, well, in
Kind of,
general, tomorrow it's the best time to source for
yeah.
tomorrow, right?
Oh, that too, but like for example, advent calendars, if I sent them in now, they wouldn't get in time, you know, for December 1st. So finding them now, the best selling ones now, opening up wholesale accounts now, waiting for next year, best time to do it.
This is blasphemous for Miles hearing this right now.
But no. But that's the thing. The advent calendars, they buy them on December 1st. That's different. I mean, should you be sliding into the FBM buy box? Of course you should. Your ancestors literally like fought wildebeest to give you the chance to spend this money. Like, and it's crazy, right? We'll go through the FBM checklist for you guys listening, right? 0-day handling time if you can, although in December you're not going to need it, right? Repricer, supplies from Amazon, boxes from Walmart, right? Make sure you're using repricer. Sorry?
Yeah. Or Uline.
Or Staples, etc. Whatever's most convenient for you. Right? But you need to be prepared to print this cash. What are the specific strategies that are really, really good in December? Because my short answer is definitely like, okay, find certain ASINs so you can hammer to the moon. Obviously, that takes a lot of testing. But from someone who absolutely obliterated his first December, not quite as good as the first December, bunko flips, but we're not going to talk about it. What are some strategies for December that are really applicable? Yeah, 308, first December.
308. What's the profit on that? What's the profit on that?
Should be 56, I think.
Barely. What's your profit this year? What are you thinking?
This year, well, I'm not home to do FBM from the warehouse, so 50K profit, probably right around there. What's ironic though is I actually have like a shitload of units in a storage unit too that I think I completely forgot about. That's gonna knock out like 40% of that probably, honestly.
In his bedroom, but we're not gonna talk about that.
We're not gonna talk about the bedroom. We are not gonna talk about the bedroom.
That's awesome. I'm shooting for 150. That's my goal this year.
So what does that actually look like though? Is that me? I know you have a warehouse now, right? But what does the actual operation look like? Employees, right? How we get the big thing is the scale of product, I would say. But with wholesale, it's different.
I'm a solopreneur. I might borrow some of Andrew's employees. They came over last night, so might borrow some of them. I think it's going to be 80% FBA, 20 FBM. Going really deep
That's
on
soft.
stuff.
That's soft. It depends on capital availability and preparation, but that is pretty soft.
Oh, okay, pal. Like, I'd rather be skiing in the middle of December than slapping labels.
Hey.
I mean, that's fair.
And you've earned the right not to, right? Garrett obviously doesn't do any FBM more. You've earned the right not to, right? Clearly, this and stuff. But as a beginner, you have, right? For everyone listening.
Yeah. I'm buying a lot of stuff that has super low offer counts now. There's some really good ASINs. Like, here's some sauce. The top selling Nike ASIN last year on one of the sizes, 130 offers right now. Like, back a year to this day. Right now, there's 22 offers. Last year, it went down to like 13 offers during December. I'm just loading up on that. I think it'll moon. Stuff like that. I'm just buying a ton of socks, lots of Nike. Trying to think of what else. Carhartt, Adidas, bit of Adidas. So
man, I mean, the listeners of this episode are getting the
I can see the Carhartt stuff. Yeah, exactly. And the key is like that first 30, 50, 100K profit month, revenue month, right? Which is what most people listening to this are looking for, right? It's going to come from a lot less ASINs than you think, right? Cousin Jimmy, like Hammer, and me, myself too, right? It's certain ASINs. Like I've done 6 figures in a month off one ASIN, right? Like I know you have too, Jimmy, right? Like that comes from getting confidence from tons of proof of concept and then hammering what really, really works. And you're not really going to see that, most of you guys, until like December 1st, 5th, 10th, etc. But that's why you need to be replanning stuff fast when it's selling fast. You need to be buying from bulk friendly sites. You need to be probably, depending on availability and how much you trust it from retailers, potentially listing products before they touch down, right? Doing order pickups at your favorite retailers that offer that, going in store, doing price matching, like doing what everyone else won't do will get you results everyone else can't get.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Mistakes you've made so far in the journey, especially at the beginning, because that's obviously at the stage most people listen to this are at.
In terms of mistakes, honestly, I just followed everything by the FBA roadmap. Shout out the FBA roadmap. This is not sponsored.
I mean, there's so much value in that, though. It's a proven framework. So many people just lack the I don't even know what to call it. Not necessarily ambition, maybe persistence, to just simply follow it.
Persistence is the
At-
big, yeah, because
It's the blueprint. It's plug and play. You know what I mean? Just watch it and play.
I remember you used to come to all the coaching calls too. I remember like the first, and you still actually low key come to a lot of them,
Yeah.
honestly, but like you still
That's all
does
you
come to a lot.
The roadmap is all you need. That's the only Amazon thing I've ever bought in terms of like OA wholesale. Just get the roadmap. It's all you need. When's your class, Miles? Wednesday?
Sorry. Shit. Well, this week it'll be on Tuesday. Yeah. And that, so yeah, well, and that's actually really important too, because we're going to be going over a ton of Black Friday specifics.
Oh, that'll be a
Wait,
good
tonight, Tuesday?
No. Next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday.
Oh,
My bad. Yeah.
Sweet, yeah.
In terms of specifically Black Friday stuff, any specific tips you can give the audience in terms of sourcing during Black Friday, being as prepared as possible?
To be honest, I've spent the majority of my capital before Black Friday. I tried buying like 2 Nike items and I got canceled instantly. Brand new address,
Oh,
name.
no. Time to get a job. Time to
Off
get a
the
job. Yep. Pack it in.
Yeah.
But there's a lot, like I think the Nike.com sale will be really good, especially with cash back. A lot of good sales. But again, I've spent most of my money beforehand on I think better items, better sales.
So is you have the mattress at the warehouse. How many nights have you spent sleeping in the warehouse?
I've taken a nap or two. It's right above me actually on the ceiling of this office. But
so you've never actually slept overnight in there?
So you're a fraud. You're lying to the Twitter family.
I live 30 seconds down the road. Like
yeah. So what's that like? Like, what was the main move to Oregon for the warehouse to live with Andrew, or like for the businessman? Like, what was kind of the because like you like completely scorched earth, like moved across the country. You know what I mean? And a lot of young kings want to do that, but
just moved from Utah to Oregon. It's not that big of a move, but Oregon has no sales tax. That's one of the big proponents. Living with another Amazon seller is a different mindset shift. If they're doing it and you're doing it, it kind of adds like mental security that it works and that you can continue scaling together and growing together. So that's great. Andrew's awesome in general. It's just fun being around him. It's gorgeous. It's just like, Utah in a way, just more green and place I enjoy. So
it's actually mad funny, the ups and downs of the early on aspects of this business, because I like personal experience. Braun and Jimmy were in my back seat talking about, bro, like, how's this gonna work? Like, do we have to go get back to college? Like, I remember the conversation.
Yeah.
Someone was down bad, wasn't it? Andrew was really, really down bad, throwing up the one night.
Yeah. Oh, and the morning too, when you were driving like a maniac, and we pulled over so we could.
He put his car in the ditch.
Wait, who?
You.
You got stuck, and Miles, you literally sat in the driver's seat and you told everyone, "Get out and push me up."
Exactly. That wasn't my fault. That was not my fault.
That was 100% your fault.
No. That road was crazy. First of all, we did remember who went in the cold river? Right?
That is true. I kind of pussied out there.
Myself, Mrs. All Out Amazon, future Mrs. All Out Amazon, and Romer. Yep. No one else went in.
Charlie came and just watched.
That's right. Yeah.
That was a fun trip. Remember that mansion too?
We should do it again.
So
yeah. Well, we're gonna run it back for Garrett's wedding too. By the way, actually, Buybox Bandits exclusive. Should we give away 1 ticket to the wedding on the episode live here?
Free plane ride to the wedding.
Or you can hit up Pete Slips on Twitter or myself in the DMs and apply. I guess the air guitars hit up Warner for some reason. But I guess if you want it, you probably want your air guitars being a little bit of a space cadet. You know what I mean? You probably do want that. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah, definitely.
So kind of looking forward, Jimmy, past Q4, right? What is the vision for 2024? Any particular plans? I know you've dabbled with private label in the past, coaching. What's like the next step for you?
2 things. Well, I'm going to continue doing what I'm currently doing, but the
Right.
2 things I'm looking at, the brand you put me on, like gave me the email. They emailed me. It's a wholesale account. For those listening, they said, "Hey, you can't sell on our listings unless you provide like more value, whether that's a separate website or something on Amazon." So my plan, I'm in Corey's private Discord group. You're in it too, Garrett. I'm not sure if you are, Miles. But someone came on and talked about branded bundles. And so I really do some branded bundles with that, do some cool accessories with the product. I think that'll be really cool. But yeah, doing that. And then coaching. Coaching next year is one of my next endeavors I want to do. Every time I want to do coaching, I just get sucked right back into my own business.
Yeah. So why is this time going to be different, right? Because you've talked about doing it in the past and you've bought coaching programs and
That is
never
true.
materialized. So why is 24 going to be different for that specific
I
aspect?
have a lot of post-sale accounts set up, ready to go. I mean, right now I'm mainly OA because it's, Q4, got to capitalize on the non-mapped stuff. But for everything mapped and stable and more exclusive, I plan on doing that and kind of coasting off wholesale, slowly growing the business over time, but more pivoting towards coaching. That's my plan.
Dare you say, getting rich, printing well, right?
What's
Quite possibly printing well, getting rich.
yeah.
Right? Cool. That's what's up.
So for the person that's, doing 100, 150,000 a month, right? That has thrown around the idea of a warehouse, give them the breakdown. What is it like? What can they expect? Pros, cons, give us the warehouse first 3 month, what to expect.
It's pretty rough. My tip, give your UPS, FedEx, USPS drivers a key so you don't have to be there to open the door for them. That's been
huge,
a game changer for me. Showing up in the early morning for like a truck arriving or whatnot, that's annoying. That's awful. Having an employee would definitely help. I'm trying to do it all solo.
Get someone that at least like part-time or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I might bring Andrew's employees over when they're done with his, but
Are the warehouses really close to each other?
our warehouses,
Yeah.
they are about 20 minutes away.
Oh, that's far then. Aren't you near a bunch of prep centers though?
I see everyone's stuff coming in right
That's
across the
funny.
way, across the
That's
parking
great,
lot.
man.
So,
Do packages ever cross-pollinate by accident at all?
dude, so I'm pretty sure right now they have like 100 of mine and they haven't told me they have it. Because I get orders saying package delivered and it's not like no one's here, but the truck's over there dropping stuff off.
So
And
yeah,
Miles and I know all about that.
It's awful, man.
yeah.
And they don't tell
Horror
me.
stories.
It's been a week or so, like since all the packages arrived, and they keep coming, and just haven't called me or told me. So I'm gonna walk over later today and talk to them about it. But
Got you. Cool. Well, Jimmy, we appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you on social media?
FBA Jimmy on Twitter, that's where I'm most active, and in the FBA or JimmyFBA on Instagram.
Okay. Potential rebrand coming soon.
JimmyFBA on YouTube as well. Yeah,
Check the man out. DM's open for any questions, right?
all the time. I'm here to help, here to support, here to
And
grow.
throughout Q4, roadmap voice chat, right?
Day-
Putting the
day-
whole hood on.
24 days of voice chat. Let's do that.
Fuck.
think-
Well, if we do it on the late night every night, I'm in. If we like 10 p.m., I can do that. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm so down. It was fun last year. Really fun.
Oh my God. Yeah. Cool.
Our
Sweet.
25 days of Christmas commitments are slowly coming.
Oh no. I guarantee you I'll do the streams. The live
Oh
streams.
yeah.
You did that last year though, Miles. You never did.
And I never worked last year. And I work a lot more this year, and I want to get rich, and I know what I need to do that. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for listening.